All right, guys, welcome back. I was debating how I should do my part two of my CES Vegas part two video, recapping of what was going on in the past week in Las Vegas CES, considering the Samsung QLED, Quantum LED, and Sony's A1 Bravia television OLED TVs. And I figured, why not just do it like this? Let's just do it like this in black and white. Let's do it like with noir kind of a feel to it. Let's just do it like this. So I figured it would be a perfect way for me to test the camera, do it in this kind of like black and white ambience. And so let's talk about CES. Let's talk about Samsung Quantum LED and A1 Sony OLED TV, and of course LG, which is already leading with the OLED. So let's talk about these TVs. I've been getting a lot of questions. People have been asking me, hey man, how do you feel about Quantum LED? And how do I feel about Samsung personally? By the way, I'm wearing this sweater because it's cold. All right, it's freaking cold. It's January, man. It's cold. It's January 10th. Is the time I'm recording this. If you see any ghosts behind me, let me know. So any kind of like supernatural shit, let me know. But let's talk about Samsung. All right, so how do I feel about Samsung Quantum LEDs and their new lineup of TVs? I have seen it all. I have watched dozens of videos from Digital Trend, AV forums, you name it. I went through all of them. I've seen them all. I've seen the press conference. Has much changed in terms of technology on Samsung? Yes and no, not really. It's an upgrade. The best way to describe Quantum LED, it's an upgrade. You're still using quantum dot technology, and you're still using LCD LED backlit or edgelit. I'm not sure if it's a backlit. I think it's a backlit. On that one, I could be wrong. But nonetheless, it's still using LCD LED backlit technology with a quantum dot. It's just that these quantum dot crystals, they're now a little bit metallic, they're a little bit better to give you a better viewing angle, kind of like IPS. And the contrast ratio and the peak brightness nits is going to be 1500. So it's only 50% higher than the KS 8000, KS 9000. So to me personally, I don't know if that's something that would warrant me to purchase a Samsung Quantum LED. I personally didn't like it. I'll be honest with you. And I know I have a lot of, this is coming from a guy who has Samsung. I have a Samsung. This is also coming from a guy who has a Samsung S7 Edge and the Note 7, but unfortunately Note 7 has blown up. So this is coming from a guy who actually has Samsung TV, has a Samsung player. So you could say that I like Samsung in general, but I'm a little bit disappointed this year with their Quantum LED lineup of TVs. I was really expecting a new technology. I was expecting them to totally get rid of LCD panel and LED backlit. I really wanted them to create their own organic kind of like quantum technology that emits by itself. I really wanted to see these crystals emit by themselves. I didn't want to see any backlit, any LCD technology. So I was disappointed to learn that it's just an upgrade. All you're getting with the Quantum LEDs is just a little upgrade, that's all. You're getting a better wider angle, and you're getting deeper blacks and a higher peak brightness nits 1500, which is 50% from KS 8000. So it's not really something that like, oh shit, I gotta have it. If you have KS 8000, you're fine. Honestly, you're not gonna see that much of a difference between that 1500 and 1000 nits. And why would you want that kind of peak brightness nits of 1500, man? That's gonna just hurt your eyes, honestly. So I really wasn't impressed, and I also wasn't impressed with Samsung design. And I'm just being honest. I'm just giving you my opinion. I wasn't really impressed with the whole metallic style that they were doing. I was expecting to see Samsung do something more in terms of design. I wanted to see them create something like, for example, Sony did with the A1 Bravia. I like the way they position it like that. Like the panel, the swivel on the panel, everything's inside that little leg that's holding this little thin panel, which is the OLED. And you can kind of fold it back in, fold it out, and it looks just great. Looks very futuristic, looks great. LG wallpaper, I was really impressed by the thin layers of the OLED. But some people are complaining about the surround sound speaker. Looks like an old submarine or something. I don't know. Look, you can put those. You can put that sound bar somewhere down below, underneath, your home theater setup table. You can put it underneath. No one's gonna even notice that thing is there. All they're gonna see is that big, thin layer of wallpaper OLED screen. So I was really impressed with the LG signature OLED wallpaper television set. But I was disappointed with Samsung. I was really disappointed with Samsung. I didn't like their design, their metallic shape, and the swivel that you can move around the TV panel looks like a lamp. Honestly, it looks like a metallic lamp. It looks but ugly. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I really wasn't impressed with the whole metallic shape and the way they put it together. So I was kind of disappointed with that. So Samsung, big disappointment if you ask me personally. I really wasn't a big fan of it. What else? Let's see. What else we got? Oh yeah, Sony. Sony was a surprise. It was a pleasant surprise. I didn't expect to see Sony jumping on the OLED. And I'm glad that they did, because I personally believe that OLED's going to be a future forward. And I think down the road, next year, Samsung will realize that OLED is the future, and then Samsung will probably jump in on an OLED 2018 CES Vegas. And mark my words, you can go check this video that's being uploaded now, 2017, January 10th. And then go next year, January 2018, and you will see that I was right, that they're going to jump on that OLED bandwagon. Now let's get back to Sony. I was really impressed with Sony's design of the A1 OLED panel. It looks really, really, really nice, man. And people that I spoke to who were there at Las Vegas, they saw it in person. It says the pictures don't do it justice. You have to see this thing in person. It's such a nice finish. It's beautifully designed. It's very nicely designed, and kudos to Sony for doing that. Now, as far as the panel, it's the LG panel. It has the X1 processor. It has Sony's technology, but as far as the OLED panel is the LG OLED panel that's built inside with peak brightness of 800 nits, which is fine because you're getting an OLED. Honestly, you're getting that organic light emitting diodes, or diodes, whatever you want to call them. I know some people call it diodes or diodes. I think it's a diodes, organic light emitting diodes. Okay, happy, good. I know people have been busting my ass about that, but if you already know what I mean, you know what I mean. No, don't need to be politically correct all the freaking time, like some Nazi grammar person. So I was impressed with Sony and LG. Both Sony and LG, I was impressed. Like I said, LG wallpaper looks fantastic. Also, LG's got a new 4K UHD player, Blu-ray player that's coming out, that's going to play all of your existing DVDs, Blu-rays, all of the formats will play it on that player, and also will support Dolby Vision and HDR10 and advanced HDR, which is in partnership with Technicolor. So that's something down the road. So I was impressed with that. And also Sony is rolling out their UBP X800 4K UHD Blu-ray player that's going to be available this spring. I think the price is going to be $550, something like that. I think if you guys wait till summer, like by the end of summer, you might get it for like $500 till they drop the price, or $450. Or you can just wait till the fall and get it for $400. But I think it's going to probably be the cheapest quality 4K UHD player that you'll be able to buy. You have to keep in mind, it's not going to have that Dolby Vision, so it's not going to be future-proof. It is going to have HDR10. I don't know about the advanced HDR. That might be something down the road with the update. Remember, they can always update that via firmware. They can always do that. So I'm impressed with Sony and the fact that they're jumping on board with the 4K UHD Blu-ray players. It's about damn time, because the Sony was the one that actually started this whole freaking 4K thing. And I was really surprised that they didn't release the 4K UHD Blu-ray player. And also, it's cool to see that they're jumping on the OLED. So we got LG, Sony, and Panasonic jumping on the OLED. Those three big companies. And believe me, Samsung's going to be 2018 jumping on that OLED. And then shortly after, you'll have Vizio jumping on the OLED. And a bunch of monitors will be OLED as well. And after that, the next step obviously is going to be 8K. First, they're going to release 8K monitors for PC. And then down the road, 2020, 2021, we might see some 8K TVs for arm and leg, $10,000, whatever. I don't know who's going to spend that kind of money. You know what I mean? So I was disappointed with Samsung. But look, I got to see it for myself. All right, this is just hearsay, and this is just what I have seen doing research and watching the videos. I have to see this for myself. This spring, I have to go to Magnolia, look at the QLED, look at the A1, OLED, put them together, and then look at the KS8000 versus KS9000, versus QLED, Quantum LED, and see the difference between those two. So, all in all, I personally believe, here's my opinion, guys. I personally believe that OLED is going to be a new standard. That's my opinion. That's what I strongly believe. I believe that the OLED is going to be a new standard that's going to replace the LCD LED technology. I think Samsung, it's running on the last stretch with this quantum dot. They're trying to roll whatever they have with this technology, and they're gonna sell. I'm sure they're gonna sell okay. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna sell okay this year, 2017. But I believe me, next year, 2018, mark my words, you will see OLED, Samsung jumping on that OLED technology. OLED's going to be a new standard. What's going to be better than OLED? I don't know, maybe Super OLED or something. Who knows what LG is going to do, or what these other companies, Panasonic, Samsung, or Sony will do. LG is leading the way with the OLED, so if there is such a thing as a Super OLED, we might see that from LG first. But like I said, very impressed with LG and Sony, especially Sony. I was really impressed with. So that's how I feel. All right, guys, it's been 14 minutes. This is my part 2 recap on Sony, CES, Samsung, and LG CES Vegas this January. All right, guys, thank you for watching this noir black and white video of me. I figured I'd change something different than my usual video of me just filming something and showing it to you. Now you get to see me in black and white. All right, guys, catch you in the next video, and be good.